since it's on its side. I don't know why my computer thinks it's working so hard. Probably because it's recording and making a video at the same time that it's doing image processing. Okay. Stretch it out. This is what I was talking about, where I was saying it doesn't fit as well as it used to. Because I don't know what you can see on your screen, but you can kind of see when I stretch the image out to make it go to both sides. It looks like it's going to cut off a little bit of the top and a little bit of the bottom. Which on this page is not a big deal because there's not really anything on the edges that's vital. But it can become quite annoying trying to make it fit, depending on what I drew. I'm sure when you get it where you want it, you hit OK, and then it makes the layer. I'm sure it takes a minute anyway, depending on what computer I'm on. The desktop's faster, but I'm sure with the recording at the same time, it's gonna take a minute. There it goes. Almost. Maybe. My poor computer. I'm overworking it, make it alter images and make videos about it. Alright, I'll save that for now, and we'll be back in this page later. Okay, now we're gonna do it again. Most exciting internet video ever. This page is gonna be a pain, I just know it. I know it, I can feel it. Feel it right now. Okay, I guess that's okay. It's all that dang text. Don't know where I'm gonna put it all. Okay, scan. There is a black and white setting on my scanner. I could just scan it in black and white, so I wouldn't have, like in the grayscale, sometimes in the ink there would be a little bit of gray still, just depending on how dark the ink is. So if I did it in black and white, it would make it just black and white. But it kind of actually makes the image a little rougher, from my experience, because it will cut out some of the little gray edges or whatever from the ball, because it's a ballpoint pen, so it's not, you know, the smoothest in the world. But also when I'm trying to grayscale it, it just acts funny, especially if I'm trying to grayscale U3, because he's all black anyway. Okay, I have a little bit of room here, so this one actually will fit okay, it looks like. When I try to grayscale Mu3, sometimes I have to, just depending on the page, and like if the page gets damaged or something, it won't scan very well in grayscale, so I have to use black and white, which is annoying, but it's Mu3. If it's just a black line, he just completely, like, disappears, kind of like. I go over his lines a little bit in gray after when I'm grayscaling him, but if I do it in black and white, it like completely covers the lines, and I don't know how to explain that without showing you, but yeah, it just kind of makes grayscaling him a little harder because I lose track of where all my lines are with him. So interesting, isn't it? I can just see all the comments now. Okay, that was fast. Because I wasn't paying attention. Alright, so now we are going to start on Gata 534. Let's move the text around first. Let's get it where I want it. Let's see how painful this is going to be. Ugh. Okay, not actually going to be as bad as I thought. But let's see. Let's shrink some of this text a little bit, make it easier on me. That's actually not going to be that bad. Alright, we're good. There's going to be a little bit of overlap, but that's not a big deal. It's not going to kill anyone. Okay, we'll go ahead and add the panel borders first. There is some kind of like panel tool. I don't remember which one it is. This one? There's this panel maker tool, and my roommate's home. We'll see if she says anything to me. Panel ruler cutter and a panel maker, and I have no idea how they work, because you draw this box and it's like, okay, now what? And I've never really experimented with it, so I don't even know how it works. And I've had a couple people ask me how it works. I'm like, I have no idea, you're on your own. So yeah, I don't use the panel tool, because as far as I can tell it doesn't do anything except make a new layer. Okay, which I guess if you were drawing digitally might be good, but do I have this page off center? Because I don't remember that border being that small. Oh well. Looks okay. But anyway, so for my panels, I just draw in lines. Just use a line tool, which is just a basic tool. You can find it in Paint, you know, whatever. Except I can't make straight lines right now because I can't hold my hand still. I do it on a separate layer from the drawing, obviously. I just let it stay at its, like when you first start a page, it'll be a default layer, just called layer, and then, I don't know why I'm erasing these, because it doesn't matter, I'm going to fill it in anyway. There's just like an empty layer, just called layer, and then when I type all the text, those become their own layers, and then the image, when I scan it in, becomes layer 2 just automatically, and I just leave it at that. So just on the first layer, it automatically created, you know, just called layer. That's where I'm drawing my lines. I've been kind of liking a thicker panel border lately. Which, when I changed my resolution, I used to use a... Yeah, I kind of like that thicker, like that. She went in the bathroom. We'll see how much my microphone picks up. Who's talking to me? Gotcha. Okay, panels. I used to use just like a... Why'd you go back down? A 0.8, I'm assuming millimeter, but I don't know, just as line, but when I upped the resolution of my pages, that became really thin. So now I use around 1. It's not as straight as I'd like. Don't want to straighten it. Now I'll leave it as is. Okay, now I have all the lines drawn. Now I go back on layer 2 and I erase all the lines. Okay, why did I care to erase that if I didn't erase that? I erased the pencil lines, which if you could see them before were just kind of messy. So I erase all that. Just being careful not to erase the image and just the messy lines. Or where it goes over the panel or whatever the case may be. Some of this I'm going to fill in black anyway, so because it's a flashback. Sure you like that picture, Hillary, don't you? I do. Just kind of erasing some random speckles too, because my scanner's dirty. Leaves me random things sometimes. Back in the day when I used to update this comic once a day, I probably would have not cleaned the page up as much as I do now. If I was making pages, I would draw the page, ink it, and put it in, make the page all within one day. Which I can still do, but it takes a lot longer than it used to. Okay. That does it for now. Do I want to do that now or later? Decisions. Now we'll do it now. I'm gonna make a new layer here. Layer 3. So exciting. It's actually gonna do the black and the gradation for the flashback, but I think I'll put in the text boxes. And this is just a box tool. What's it called? Rectangle. Okay. Again, it's just something like in Microsoft Paint where you just click and drag. So exciting. Aren't you glad this isn't a live stream? You can fast forward or put it on another page, or, you know, just not even listen to it. That's cut off. Let's scoot that over. But then the box is still cut off. Do I want... Yeah, let's move that over. I can and sometimes do the text boxes like this on the same layer. I do the panels, but in this case, or it was like here was going to be so close to the panel anyway. I wanted it to be on another layer so I could alter one and not the other. Okay, now we're going to use my favorite tool ever, the fill bucket. And if you see here, this little box with the tool options, right now I have it clicked all layers. I'm going to unclick that, so when I use the fill, it's only going to use lines from that layer. So it's only going to use lines on layer 3. So like right here where I have an overlap over the panel, when I use this white in the fill bucket, I'm going to fill it up with white. It's going to cover up that little part on the panel. Just from, and I'm just going to fill them all. And see, you can see here it covered up the pillory. So then I don't have to erase, which isn't a big deal, but it actually can help layer depending on my toning and how I work that, so I usually fill it up with white. Okay, now we're gonna make a new layer again. Exciting stuff, people, exciting stuff. See if anyone's commented real quick. No one there. No one there. Alright, nobody likes me. That's not a problem. I was just making sure. Okay. So this panel here, the first panel, is a flashback, and so as you know, I like a black around the panel. And then when I go to a non-flashback, like the future pages, I use a gradation and go to like a gray and then into the white or whatever. So I'm going to work on making that right now. But first, I'm drawing these lines. Okay, we're gonna fill. This isn't gonna work the way I want it to. Oh well. And see, this time I used all layers, so it uses lines like that layer 4. I wanted it to cover this on its own, but I'll just do it myself. Not a big deal. There's easier ways to do this, but we're gonna do it this way. Okay, so we have the beginning of our black box there. So now I want to do a gradation. So we're going to go to tones. There's a gradation tool, but I don't like it as well. So we're going to go to tones, basic, gradation. I typically do line, 60 line. I don't know what size I need, so we'll just do this. And then when I want to use the tone, I click over here and then I dot it or whatever with whatever tool I have.